All right, guys, I got a very unique one this week, and I'm pretty excited about it. Let's get it started. There exists a threat, from anti-hunting groups to politicians trying to give our land away, and we won't stand for it. Those vast western landscapes provide the space for our wildlife to thrive, and a place for hunters and anglers to fuel the fire that sparks their soul. In this show, we share our love of hunting, fishing, and conservation. Here, we provide the foundation to meet these threats through passion and the grit of the American outdoorsman. Welcome to the Western Huntsman Podcast. We are rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of the Western Huntsman Podcast. This is Jim Huntsman, your host, coming at you from the Broken Town studio right here in Clark Fork, Idaho. I've got a badass episode. I could just tell because I literally just met this guy, and I already really like him. So I'm excited to introduce you guys to somebody named, and Arlando, if I screw up your last name, don't hold me too accountable yet, dude. But Arlando Chiles is on the line. Did I say it right? How did I do, man? I
really like the way you said my name. I really do.
I told you, man. I grow on people. They eventually I grow on them.
That was nice, man. So, like I said, geographically, wherever you come from, you can say it kind of however you want to. If you want to say the Chiles, just to sound like, just to sound awesome. That's how it's pronounced, but you can also say Chiles because we are in America. We're not in South America or in Africa, but in Africa or South America or Jamaica, we will pronounce it Chiles. But here in the good old USA, you would say Chiles. So it's all your groove, man.
Where does the name come from? Like what part of the world?
Well, what part of the world? Spain is where it comes from. It comes from Spain. So it really could be anyone who is anyone and everyone could be actually named Chiles or Chiles.
Okay.
From Japan to the Philippines to the Middle East to America, anywhere and everywhere a Spanish came through and put his penis inside of a woman, there could be a Chiles or a Chiles. So for me, geographically, it came from Jamaica, Panama, and Cuba. That's sort of like where I come from. Cuba has a lot of Chiles.
Yeah.
A whole lot of, and that's kind of where a whole lot of my bloodline comes from. Panama also does have some Chiles. When I looked up Chiles, I seen Panama, Cuba, Florida, and I was like, oh shit! Like I don't even know where it comes from because the penises were everywhere, apparently. So,
you know what's funny is, so I was, and I don't want to sound like my grandpa or something, but back in the Marines, when I was in the military, you know how in the military you wear the name tapes, that has your last name over the on the blouse. You call them a blouse.
Oh yeah.
And so there was this dude. I think he was like a staff sergeant named Chiles, and there was also this lieutenant who, lieutenants are like brand new in the military. They're just out of like school of, or officer candidate school or whatever. So they're kind of boots.
Yeah.
We call them boots. And they kind of walk around. Sometimes they're a bit smug. They think they're the shit because we have to salute them or whatever. But a staff sergeant, has been in the Marines for at least like 5-6 years. And if you're in the infantry, sometimes even longer.
Marine.
And so this lieutenant was like, "Hey, chili," and to this staff sergeant, he said it like the food chili, And this staff sergeant turns around and he walks over to this lieutenant and puts his face right up to his ear, and he didn't salute or anything. This butterball lieutenant's got this look of fear on his face already, and he said, "It's fucking Chiles." I thought the lieutenant was going to pass out.
Shit.
So,
yeah, man.
So anyway, I think you're the first person I've met with that last name since that time. So it's kind of cool.
Man, well, hi. How's it going?
Where do you live, man? You're down in
I live
California?
in California, man. I'm in the Bay Area, smack dab in the middle. Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, smack dab in the middle, baby.
So
Bam, 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 bam.
that is like the epicenter of a lot of the frustrations that comes out of for the hunting space. And I got a lot of buddies down there.
Well. I think a lot of the frustration comes from SoCal because, well, I don't really, you know what? I can't really tell you because all I can talk to you about is the community that I know and that I fuck with. And as far as the people that I know and that I fuck with and that I go and I interact with, they are all pro. Like if they see anything in a bill for hunting, they're like, all right, cool, like, whatever. We don't give a fuck. Like, cool, whatever. Like, do what you got to do to get what you got to get. That as far as the black community, I guess I can say the black, the Mexican, and the melanated community, from what I know, is from walking the streets and talking to people and being come up to wearing my Badlands camo. Everyone is pro. I don't care. Hunt. You want to hunt? Sure. If I see a hunting bill, I'm pro. I'm not anti.
Yeah, no, that's usually reserved for the uppity white liberals in like San Francisco. That behave like that.
Well, I do gotta correct you because it's not the uppity white. It is actually a lot of the immigrants that come from like Sweden, that come from like Germany, that end up residing here, and they've been here for like 8 years. Yeah, bro. The people and okay, I can only speak from my experiences. Okay, I can't really speak in general. I'm not speaking for California here. I'm just speaking for people who I bumped into who are from other countries, who have their like San Francisco. I'm gonna move to San Francisco and San Francisco. They come here and then they end up changing actually what San Francisco is, and then they end up having they live here and they have kids here. Like I've seen it. Like in 2006, back in the day, I used to do security. Back when Twitter first started. When Twitter first started, there was a huge influx of people from like Sweden, Germany, like you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna Poland, like all these places, because they were smart people, they're smart motherfuckers, and they're coming here because the government's giving, like everyone's worried about Mexicans, no one's worried about like everyone else came from Germany and shit coming over here. Like these motherfuckers are flying over here legally. Cool, whatever, that's cool. You cool with? I don't give a fuck. But find a place here, do whatever you want. I already think this place is fucked. So if you want to come here, you're stupid. I'd rather just leave this place. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But the residential. Yeah, no, it's horrible. Residential, and we'll get into residential and all that shit. We'll get into all that. But anyway,
for sure.
All these they come in here and they have these different opinions about things, and a lot of these people end up having kids, and right now those kids are voting age right now. 2015 with 2022. Can they vote? 2015. They're getting ready to vote, right? You're getting ready to vote. So all those people that came here in 2015 who had kids at later age, they're getting ready to vote, and now those opinions are getting ready to be on the front end of California, and that's what's happening. There's a whole huge influx, and then when those people come here and they got a bunch of money and they got a bunch of influence, now they're influencing people. Now they have and there's this whole thing about following people, right? And do what you do, but I'm just I'm looking past all the bullshit, and I'm seeing that it's about money, and it's about power, and it's about control, and I don't think people are looking at they're painting a picture for we care about the bears. We care about the bears. No, you don't. Because if you did, then you would let us hunt bears with hounds. Because what's happening is these numbers need to get reduced. Period and point blank. And I'm sorry for smacking the mic. These bear numbers need to get reduced. Period and point blank. Because if they do increase, then we'll start having crazy ass bear diseases and crazy ass bear stuff going on. And now these motherfuckers are gonna be in your neighborhood, and then you're gonna be mad because there's no hunters. Then you're gonna be hiring a pest control company to come out to take care of these bears when really I can be eating
at
these
the taxpayer
bears.
at the taxpayer expense. So nobody will, and nobody will end up with the bear meat. Nobody will end up with the memory and the story and the hunt and the.
I will, because guess what?
Are you a pest control guy?
When they do, oh no, I'm quitting my job and I'm pest control, motherfucker. You want I'm quitting my job. I'm gonna be pest control.
Dude,
for
we'll team
bears
up, man. I'll come down there. We'll team up.
Hey, that's okay. Get rid of bear hunting. I'll figure out a way, baby.
So that leads me to this question, because so you and I, the first time we spoke was like 5 minutes before I hit record here. So I don't know you, you don't know me. Other than I want to say it was like a year or two ago, I heard you on Randy Newberg's podcast.
Bam.
Yeah, and so I followed you on Instagram, and I get a kick out of the videos you post. Whether you're doing like archery or whatever in the backyard there, you do a good job at that kind of stuff. It's entertaining, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to hit this dude up and see if I can get him on the show. And we'll talk hunting. We'll talk, California, working with Randy, or whatever you're doing with Randy. Because Randy's a great dude. It's actually been a couple years since I've had him on the show. I had to get him back on. Because he's super insightful.
Randy, the craziest thing about Randy, bro, is like what you see on TV is what you get, bro. Like there's nothing else. I was with Randy on the moose hunt, but no, I hung out with Randy. Like that was only a couple of days. I had a few days in Montana, and we hung out all those days.
Yeah,
he's a chill ass dude. Like that's just who he is, and it's so crazy to meet someone who is like just this genuinely like humble-hearted individual. Hold on, but he is who he is. Like that, what you see is what you see, and honestly, he's kind of what inspired me to like go to kind of take off all the paint, like take off all the lead, take off all the colors, and just be 100% Chiles and Cazador. I changed my whole name, like because of him. It used to be Buck the Black Hunter, and I changed it, and like it was a switch because talking to Randy and hanging out with Randy and seeing that like it doesn't really matter who you are. People are gonna like you or they're not gonna like you. And if you try to like I was trying this whole like, all right, let me fit into like what the hunter niche is asking, like what's okay for hunters to do and for hunters to talk about. Because like let's be honest, when you're talking hunting, there's a specific way that I've seen a lot of podcasts and videos and whatever you want to call it. They kind of talk and they communicate, and there's this way of sort of like, and yeah. So we woke up the next morning, and it was you know what I mean?
That was a pretty good impression.
You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm talking about. Like it's not like I've talked to you, bro. I know how you fucking talk. That's not how you talk when you're off the phone. But now all of a sudden you're all like, yeah. So
I don't know what that is either, dude. Like I don't know what there is like this weird, and I've had it sometimes with guests, and I feel like I have to kind of loosen them up a little bit sometimes. There's like this formality that I think people have to get when they're recording a show, and it's just never been my thing. Like just be you and talk like how you normally talk.
They're worried about their sponsors. Do they have sponsors is the question.
I have no idea. I usually don't even bring that kind of shit up. It's like, I have sponsors on the show, but it's their fault. If I piss them off or offend them, it's their fault. Like they know who I am. Right. And so it's not, I'm not changing for that. And you must have, what kind of soundboard you got over there?
I got a Rodecaster Pro, man. I went a little crazy on it. Everything I do, I go 100%, 100,000% crazy, and like that's my problem.
You've kind of done that with hunting, and I'm super curious, dude. Like, how did you get into hunting? How did it? Where did this come from? Because you're a pretty passionate guy about it, and I'm curious where it came from.
So the crazy thing is, you are in the right time, and I gotta say this before I go into my story. People are going to have to listen to what I'm going to say because I'm drawing this out. But I'm sorry, you are in the right time to hear the story because this is like the epicenter of every moment that I've ever been thinking or ever been waiting for in the hunting ever mindset that I've ever had. So I've never, ever, 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 ever in my life ever thought that I would be a hunter. Never. It was sort of this random thought that I never thought I would have had. And the only reason I had this thought is because I was hanging out, double fisting. I was drinking. I just got a DUI, I think the night before or a couple of days before. Maybe it was like a week before. I don't know. But I had DUI. I was a little frustrated, but I still had my license because there's like a period in which you can still drive and you gotta handle all the bullshit. And I don't give a fuck. I'm just being honest with you guys because it is my life. It's what happened.
Yeah, that's why we come on
and drove.
That's why we come on these shows to tell these kind of stories because that kind of thing can transform your life. For better or worse, it can, right?
Oh my God. Did it change my life? So I'm going to tell you about where I was and where I ended up. Okay. I had my own house in Stockton. I was saving up to buy my own house actually in Stockton. I was getting ready actually to buy my own house in Stockton. I had a very successful job at a company called InShape. It's a personal gym. I was a personal training manager. I had clients up the yin, yang. I had just started my dog breeding, and people were going to feel however they went about this. I did breed. I hadn't named them yet, but I was intending to breed dogs because I have a huge passion for apartment pit bulls is what I call them. And essentially they're just like mini pit bulls that are really good guard dogs, but California is getting to the point where you ain't going to have no motherfucking house, so you can't have no terrier pit bull that needs to run and shit. You need a lazy ass pit bull that can still bite a motherfucker, but is lazy enough to stay in your apartment all day and not have to go outside. Maybe go on a walk. That's what pit bulls are at. Like if you see a bully walking around, they're basically apartment pit bulls because they don't really need to run. Like if you run them, like you can take them around the block and they're done for the week probably because it's just the way that that's just the way they are. Their nostrils, their body, their everything is. They build up a whole lot of high lactic acid in their muscles after a single workout. So pit bulls are different than like a husky or like a German Shepherd or a fucking, you know what I mean? Like a retriever. They're everything's different. You know what I mean? So that's what I was breeding, and I get a lot of hate. That's why I go through all the detail as apartment pit bulls. But I get a lot of hate when I'm like, I was trying to, make apartment pit bulls for women, college students, and girls who just want to go on little walks at night and shit and have freaking weirdos in California who want to do weird shit. And if you've been to California, you've been to San Francisco or San Jose, you've seen the sidewalks.
Yeah.
It's fucking Skid Row's not in just motherfucking LA. It's every city in every place where there's someone who has a millionaire next to their bank account. You can guarantee there's a Skid fucking Row. And that's just...
Dude, there is I live in a town of just over 500 people, and there's weird motherfuckers here, too, that, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a guard dog. I mean, it's just everywhere.
Well,
you always have that percentage, man. Right?
Well, you do, man, but it's just a crazy... So that was my goal, is to create, this guard dog who's low maintenance, no hair, no allergies. That's a fucking bully. Lazy as fuck. College student, all this shit, no more, all that shit. You can take them to parties and all this shit. Fucking, there you go. Got DUI, got drunk. On my birthday weekend, I drove literally to a place that I've walked to in the past. So this is how dumb this DUI was. A place it was probably 5 miles from where I live. Probably closer. I'm giving it a little bit further just because it was a long time ago. But I used to walk there. And it was a place where I used to play pool and I used to have beers and drink. But I drove there. My birthday, I drove there. I think I had planned afterwards. That's why I drove there. I was going to drive there, play pool, and then meet up with some friends afterwards. I got there. I played a couple pool. They canceled. I played some more pool. I drank a little bit. I think I had 4 beers, like literally 4 pitches of beers. And I'm not going to fuck them. Maybe 6, maybe 8. Who cares? I had 8 beers. Just say 8 beers. I don't care. 8 beers. Let's just say 8. And I decided, hey, I'm only like 5 miles from my house. It's not very far. Like literally, I pull out of this parking lot. I make a left. The next light is the left I take to then make a right onto my street where I live. Like it's not
pretty close.
It's literally it's fucking close. It's right there. I left, got in my car. I left, drove. I was cool. Like driving, I wasn't swerving. I wasn't nothing. But I left. I got in my car under the influence of alcohol. Drove home. Got pulled over. Maybe like shooting an arrow. Maybe like 45 yards from my house. I got pulled over.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I can see. At the time I had a 74 Monte Carlo sitting in the front, and I can see the Monte Carlo, and I'm like, fuck, right here. I was driving a Prius. I was like, I'm cool. I'm in the Prius. No one's gonna pull me over in the Prius. So I'm driving the Prius. I have a Monte Carlo. This is how well I was doing. I'm not bragging, but this is how well I was doing. I had a paid off Monte Carlo in the front. I had a paid off Harley Dyna in the front. And I had a Prius that I was driving that I had just paid off about 4 months before. So this is how well I was doing, and I'm gonna tell you where I went from how well I was doing to where I went, motherfucker. Pulled over, DUI, in jail. I'm like, dude, I'm down the street. He's gonna tow my car. He was like, dude, that's the only bonus I got. After that was it. DUI, lost my license for a year. I mean, all those clients I had at the gym, all that money I was making, I lost my job, got fired. All that shit went down the toilet. Done, dilly, done. Oh, the house that I had? Oh, you're done. You can't pay rent? Get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. You're out of here. So I left that shit. I was done with that. I had to give my dog. So luckily, praise to the sun god Ra, I had buddies who are in the breeding industry. So I had 2 dogs that were they're pretty expensive dogs. They're pretty expensive females with nice genetics, very nice pit bulls, very expensive. And I was investing. I had the whole business plan. I got my dog Chili. I still have him. He's too old to fuck now, but I still had him at the time. He was ready. He was a nice pit bull, nice gene, nice lineage, nice health, all the shit. Like everything was fit. Like all the doctors gave him everything was perfect. DUI, I had to get rid of the 2 females. I wasn't getting rid of my dog. Literally, I trained him. I spent like $7,000 training him. Basic training. And I sent them to special needs training. And I sent them to PTSD training. This is all for me because I had a lot of issues. I'm crazy. Got a lot of issues. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you guys straight. Shit happens in life, and your brain catches up, and you really gotta deal with those. You can't really hide from that shit. So I'm just gonna put it out there. There's trauma that happens, and you can't get away from it. So I'm putting it out there because it helps. A lot of shit happened. So I got Chili. Chili helped with a lot of that, like scaredness that I was going through, a lot of that PTSD, a lot of that trauma that I was going through. And he still helps to this day. He's still helping. But DUI. Lost everything. I had to sell the dogs. I got rid of the house. I had to get rid of the Monte Carlo. I sold it. I sold the Prius. I was driving the Harley for like literally for years. I was driving the Dyna around. And then literally a week or 2 after I got pulled over, I'm watching TV. I'm packing up the house. I'm pissed off because I just sold the dogs. I'm double fisting alcohol because I still didn't learn my fucking lessons. At this time, I'm just like, fuck it all. And then Randy fucking Newberg pops on. And the crazy shit about this is I'm going hunting with Randy in a couple of days. We're going to go hunting for black bears in Randy Newberg. And the fucking crazy part about this is I saw him hunting black bears in Alaska. And that's the episode that got me into hunting. Is I decided at this point, that I'm gonna hunt black bears, and this is just the first day that I'm. Oh man!
And like what year is this, Orlando?
For the year, so the year might be 2017.
Okay,
I want to say,
and that's the point. We're talking a few years back. We're not talking like 2 decades ago or something. Well, obviously, whenever Randy was on, but
I mean, I'm 35, so I mean, I ain't 2 decades ago. I would have been fucking in college, fucking. You know what I mean? Having sex with your mom. Sorry. Anyway, not your mom.
Don't say funny shit when I take a swig of whiskey, man. I'm going to spit it all over my microphone. I don't have the money to replace it.
I think we got insurance for this, right? Peak Refuel, Peak the sponsor. You got insurance for this podcast, right? And delicious meals in the backcountry, Peak Refuel. They got your back if you're ever hungry and you need some DoorDash in the backcountry. Go ahead and get yourself some motherfucking Peak Refuel because they need some water, some hot. You need some fire, water. That's it. Peak Refuel. Got it at DoorDash in the backcountry. That's all you need. But
wait. What's your favorite Peak meal?
So my favorite standalone Peak Refuel is gonna be the There's 2. So
do you got 2?
Peak Refuel. Just Peak Refuel.
Yeah, just Peak.
It's going to be the home style chicken and rice. Okay. But the when Chad Mendez hopped in there, I got to say, the Peak Refuel with the, I'm sorry, oh my God.
He had like the elk masher
the ragu.
Or something. Yes. Oh, the ragu, yes.
The ragu.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. Do they still have that one?
That one smashed. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got it wrong. It was the Bison Ranch masher.
That's what it is. That's
ranch. Yeah. Oh my God!
I call it the elk masher, but you're right. It was a bison masher, the ranch masher or whatever that thing, and it was a freaking ton too. I remember I got halfway through one time on one of those up on the mountain, and I'm like, who in the hell can eat a whole entire one of these? Like
you really can't. Lot. It's for 2 people. You really can't.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. I don't know though. I like that chicken peto pasta one that they do, man. That was like, good. I think that's my favorite.
Hey, you got to do me a favor though.
All right.
If you don't already have the skillet, the breakfast skillet, and the biscuits and gravy, if you don't already have those 2, please do me a huge favor the next time before you go on any sort of like deep, like hate yourself kind of hunt, right? Get yourself biscuits and gravy.
Yeah,
I
would agree.
The scramble. Please.
I don't know if I've tried the scramble, so I'll take your advice and I'll try that one.
So
the biscuits and gravy is the best.
The best. But not only try it, serve. Go ahead and give whoever wants that. If you don't have a buddy with you, luckily I only had 2 buddies with me who ate that shit, so I had a little bit left. They ate the scramble separate, and they ate the biscuits and gravy separate. And luckily for me, there was only enough to put them together and have a meal.
Wow.
And when I did that, I want to tell you that when you put them together, it is the best thing you'll ever do for your health.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Ever on any day, any past day 3, because day 2 you're still cool with the whatever you hate from home. Like there's no mental stress there. There's no mental like, oh my God, like. But day 3, day 4, if you just all right, guys, we haven't shot anything. Let's have this. Boom, scramble. This is some gravy. Let's instead put them together and split them between all of us. I guarantee you, I promise, bro, it will be the best decision. Because what I did after that is I went on a separate hunt by myself, coyotes with my bow. I'm successful again, 5 days. I tried to lose weight and was like, I'm going to go fucking coyotes with my bow. Bring those 2. That's all I bring. I ate that for 3 days straight. It was the best, but I shit my brains out. It was the best.
See, Peak's never done that to me. It's always the mountain houses that do that. But I don't know. Oh,
so I think I shit my brains out because I ate it for 3 days
Oh, that's yeah. It'll do that. It'll do that for sure.
Yeah.
It depends on how far. See, I don't do a lot of backcountry stuff anymore. I mainly like at a base camp, so I don't go back. I'll take one for lunch, but I'll get back to camp and cook something else or whatever. But I want to hear the rest of this story though. You're on the couch.
Oh,
you're drinking.
I'm on the couch.
Randy Newberg comes on.
Randy. So the crazy part is, I was watching rap videos. I wasn't watching hunting. Nothing near hunting at all. I was watching some weird, like not even popular rap music, like weird rap music. This dude named Father. He's weird. He doesn't like rap about like normal shit. So it was so weird. I call it huntervention because it was divine huntervention. Like, it's the only way I can explain it, because after a couple songs of this dude and this dude named I Love McConan, who was sponsored by Drake, you might have heard a song, going up on a Tuesday. After all that shit came on, Randy Newberg hunting black bears in Alaska popped on. And at first I grabbed my remote because it was like, how it initially starts. It's kind of like Randy Newberg hunting, and I'm like, I don't know what is it. I don't know what it is. It's popping up next. And then as soon as I grabbed my remote and I was getting ready to change it, I seen his fucking face and his smile. His face, his smile, his presentation, what he was talking about, how he was talking, how like passionate he was, just talking about hanging out with his buddy, chilling, hanging out. I ain't seen you in a minute. Let's just hang out in the woods and with some guns and walk around. That's kind of what drew me in. Is holy shit! Like, you can do this. Like, you can just walk around with your buddy and some guns and just shoot some bears. Well, like, that's the real thing.
That's interesting, man. So, like, before you saw that with Randy, what was your perception of hunting?
I didn't really have, like, the perception of hunting that I had was what I saw on ESPN whenever I saw it. And That was, all right, so we just woke up in the morning and we're going to shoot this big buck. See this big buck.
You got to give him a name. We're going to shoot Five Finger.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, five. Oh, yeah, he's Five Finger right there. That's not Four Finger. That's Five Finger right there. We're going to shoot him in the morning. Right now he's eating and he's fucking, so we're going to wake up. We're going to shoot him and he's going to be good. Like, that's what I was watching. It was kind of like, man, is that what hunting, like, that's all you see? That's all you think? That's what hunting is? That's
I always hated those. I always hated those videos where they're on these private ranches and they've got names, they've got Five Finger over here, they've got Left Eye over there, they got Big Toe coming down that side. I always hated that because I felt like it was a misrepresentation of what real hunting is. You know what I mean?
100%,
I don't mean to. I am one of those guys. I am super open to hunting how you want. If that is your, because that's how a lot of these folks are. They're born and raised in that kind of environment, and that to them is what hunting is. And they are my friends. But it bothered me that was the only thing that was portrayed on TV, as if every hunter was like this big private landowner that had been raising these deer basically with their special feed to get the big antlers, and they named them and they had trail cam videos and pictures and all this stuff, and they just waited for them to walk in front of them with a bow. It drove me crazy because Western hunting is so different. And that is one of the things that Randy was so instrumental at shining the light on, a different aspect of what public land hunting is, and hunting the West, hunting an elk or a bear in Alaska or Montana pronghorn, all that I think I attribute a lot of the awakening to the general public to what Western hunting is, as a lifestyle to Randy, if that makes sense.
I mean, I just stepped on a bunch of shotgun shells, if that answers the question. Just made a bunch of noise. But 100%, because what drew me in was the fact that he was on public land. He was not hunting bait. It was not easy. It was, he was talking about all the difficulties of getting in there, flying in, getting the boat, renting it, driving it with your buddy, meeting your buddy. Like, all the stuff he was talking about was like oh shit, this is hunting. If you're hunting, right? And
Yeah.
then he's actually in the video. You see him going through his process of like, oh this bear, oh this bear, this bear. I mean, I think Bart May shot a bear, and not 100%, but I remember there was a lot of success at the end of the episode, and when I watched it, I was just like, I related to that, and I was like, man, like me and my, we can, like, all my buddies we're all ex football, we're all ex college football players,
Mm-hmm.
all of us, or we're all, and I fought professionally, or we're all some sort of like my other buddy TJ, I probably didn't say his name, but boy, Mr. Yara Kales, um, he's a race driver. Like we all have this adrenaline passion behind it. We can't just have a 9 to 5. We have to have a 9 to 5, something super adrenaline packed, and we have to have time to train for that super adrenaline packed thing that we're doing on top of the 9 to 5 that we're doing. That's kind of, we have to be like that, because if we're not, we're out of balance.
Yeah.
You can call it the ADHD rig or whatever you want to call it. But it's just true for me.
I think it's just I don't think there's even a label for it. It's just a normal primal part of being a man. You know what I mean? We need
not
adventure.
all men are like that.
I know, but this sedentary, this modern sedentary lifestyle that we've created through the comfort of this highly successful economic system we have, I think has created that. But I think deep down, even the folks that we think don't have that, I think especially dudes, they all have this need. They have a need for adventure. There's a fire in every man, and whether he puts it out or he puts it or he blows wind on it to build those flames up. We all have it, and hunting is a great way to satisfy that.
100.
Oh, you dropped out there. Oh, there you are.
Me burping. I burped. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I apologize to the public. I burped, and that was not appropriate. I apologize. But you're right. This whole like this thing is changing, and the dynamic of life itself is changing. And I really gotta blame like these fast food companies, because when it comes to food, there's so many options for easy accessibility.
I know, man.
And I can't be mad. I can't be mad, because look at me. Like, I got 2 kids. I just got released from my job, but I was how many hours is it? Okay, I was waking up at 4, leaving the house by 4:45 to be at work by 7, to be home by 7. However many hours, it's about a little bit over than 7 hours of work, but a lot more hours of actual shit. And that was my life. That's a lot of people's lives. On top of having 2 kids, on top of having a newborn with colic who was just screaming his head off every single night.
Yeah, I feel for you with that one, man.
No clue what to do, and there's just like, what are you gonna do? Like, yes, they have to figure out why he's crying, what's going on, and there's 2002 dads. I gotta say, 2002 dads. If you're born after like motherfucking like 80, you got a wife. Your expectations to be a father, your expectations to be a dad, your expectations to be a like at home in a relationship, everything is so much harder than my grandpa had it. And I'm sorry to say it. I don't know how this is gonna sound, but my grandpa had it so much easier. Like, he can just work and like didn't have to worry about paying an expensive ass mortgage and PG&E and gas and water and everything is super like all you have to do is like, okay, this is $29 a month for gas. Like, I don't know how much it was,
but their wages weren't as high as they are now.
Yeah, they're not, but still, I feel like back in maybe like pre-90, I feel like the money you were making was a little bit more manageable.
I do too, man.
Living than it is today.
I challenge you a little bit on that, but I actually agree that the inflation or the balance of income versus the cost of living was a little bit more honed in. Like, you got, I don't think it matches up anymore. Like
It's
I
so
make pretty good,
crazy.
I make pretty good money, man, but I can't even afford to build a house right now because of the lumber prices. And
I mean,
it's nuts. And so I just there's trade-offs though. There's a lot of different trade-offs. I'll tell you another thing that makes it harder to be a parent now, like what you're talking about, that I'm envious of, like my grandparents and even my parents, is raising kids in a world where there's like social media and all these
oh my
apps and the internet
God.
and like these I saw this meme. This was years ago too. The meme was like probably almost 10 years ago on it was like when they first started doing memes on Facebook and shit. But this meme came out and it said that a 15-year-old kid with a smartphone has more information at his fingertips than the president of the United States in 1980 did. Right? And so
Oh yeah.
you think about that, like the Cold War's going on, but a kid today has more information that he could find right there, no problem, on a phone, on a freaking phone.
Yeah. On a phone.
And just think of all the influences that come in. You try to do what you can to protect your kids. You don't want somebody to break in and kidnap them, or you don't want a bear to nab them in the woods. You don't all these things.
Holy cow.
But it's the shit on the internet that fucks them up more than anything. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it makes it really hard. It really does make it hard.
There's like right now, I'm going through this as she's 2. I mean, I can't really say I'm going through this because, but she is being influenced. And there's a way that I'm trying to approach things, because in some ways you don't want them to be behind the curves where they're going to school and they're like a loser because they have no clue what Baby Shark is and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they have to be in somewhat of the know, but you want them to know that there's other outlets than what other people are diving into. So I mean, there's a balance that you, as a parent, life evolves and you sort of got to like go with the flow. I mean, in the 80s, they were talking about something differently, and now we're talking about this shit, and it's sort of rapidly going crazy. And yeah, there's a whole lot of other stuff behind the mask. But as parents, what I found is I just have to like force my daughter to go outside and shoot her bow, and force, like, turn off all the TVs and go on a walk. Like, there's no other option. Like, if you don't make any,
it's so important.
Yeah. So important. Like, cut out the options. People are always like, "Oh, my baby only eats," and I can't emphasize for people under the spectrum of autism. I can't emphasize for people who are going through a whole lot of other stuff with their kids. But I can say 100%. If you take any kid who is, I feel, in my opinion, I'm only gonna say in my opinion, my personal humble opinion, take any kid on a camping trip, take them out there in the woods, the palate will change. No matter what they were eating and what they were stuck on eating, when they get hungry, they will open up their opinions of food. And that I have, only in my opinion, I have seen people who are super stubborn, and I won't say under any spectrum, but you can probably put 3 and 4 together, who were very opinionated about what they were going to put in their mouth prior to the descent into the woods, and then at the descent of the woods, when this individual decided to eat all of the food that this individual had for the entirety of the duration, there was only a certain kind of food left, and this person had to make a decision whether to eat the food we had or not to eat.
Mm-hmm.
This person decided to eat. He ate, and he enjoyed it once he started to eat when he was hungry. And that's just what I experienced. So
you're exactly right. It's again, we go back to this. It's the primal thing. It's the primal nature of it, right? I mean, did I lose you there?
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay,
I'm
just making sure.
Yeah.
It's weird recording with somebody who's also recording on a soundboard because you actually sound like you're recording. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Usually I've just got somebody with earbuds over the phone or something. So it's kind of cool because it cuts out a lot of the background noise. Anyway. I don't know. We went down this tangent, but I think it is important shit because I think it's a primal thing, and kids will do what is natural and primal, and kids need to be outside. Kids need to experience the world like we live in the woods, man. And my kids are out there. They're finding morel mushrooms right now this time of year. They're out there shooting turkeys. That they need
man,
that.
That's the best.
It's
they
so
need
cool.
That.
They need it, and they really feed off of it. And I just don't think like human beings were made to sit in like these cubicles and like what's that show? There was a show that came out in the 90s, Office Space or something, Office Place or I don't. Anyway,
oh yeah.
It's got
that
funny dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that big dude that wanted a stapler all the time, mumbled a lot. But he was talking about that. Like, there's like a message in that show where people aren't made to live in a cubicle kind of setting. And it's the same with kids. For me personally, I don't think kids should be sitting in a classroom at 8 years old for like 6, 7, 8 hours a day. I'm sorry. It's just stupid.
No, it's not the way ever. So
it's not. And then they blame the boys getting patient. Yeah, it's. There's
a lot of history.
We could do a serious show on that.
Educational system not being appropriate for the way people learn. You can go all the way back to the Greek, to the ancient nomads, to the ancient Japanese, to the ancient Chinese, to the ancient Kemetic.
Yeah.
You can call it Egyptian. All the ancient knowledge, all the ancient huge like influencers of knowledge were learning in the field of which they were trying to apply the knowledge.
Let's take a quick break to give our show sponsors some well-deserved love. Let's start with Scree Extreme Mountain Gear. High-performance hunting attire and gear. Scientifically tested camo patterns. Complete layering systems. And in my opinion, the finest merino wool products to keep you warm, dry, and comfortable. It's all backed by a great company. Some of my personal favorites in the Scree lineup are the hard scrabble pants for early to mid-season, and then as it gets colder, I switch to the Kodiak pants for late season. The Bridger glassing mitts are like game changers, and I love the Newberg rain gear. Scree offers great packages on the website as bundles, like the elk bundle, that will completely outfit you for your favorite hunt. Oh, and my favorite part? You won't need to refinance your house to get outfitted. Try the starter bundle for less than $500. It's an insane deal. With the VIP sizing guarantee, you can exchange something that doesn't fit for free. I just had to do this for something that I got my wife. It was a little big, so I just sent it back. They covered the shipping both ways and exchanged it for the right size. So go to screegear.com and at checkout, use promo code The Western Huntsman for 15% off and free shipping. Phelps Game Calls, one thing that I love about companies that are born out of hunting is their story. Like Phelps Game Calls, the American success story that walks us through how something started small and grew into something big. Like Phelps, he started this company kind of as a hobby in his garage in 2009. Now, a little over a decade later, Phelps is one of the premier hunting call companies on the planet for good reason. They're the most realistic calls on the market, and that is saying something. Check out the AMP lineup. For predator calls like the 3-pack POR 123 or the Fawn in Distress, check those out. Turkey calls, get a diaphragm, a pot call, or a box call, and a complete line of waterfowl calls. Hit up the website and at checkout, use promo code Huntsman10 for 10% off. Phelps Game Calls, get them close. The Elk Collective. The best investment for hunting success is what's between your ears. Having elk hunting knowledge is what separates those who succeed every once in a while against those who notch tags every year. There's a very fine line there, and there's a perfect amount of time if you're listening to this now to get through the entire course before September. Improve your chances with a virtual course of over 140 videos that cover things like how to get elk tags throughout the West, scouting and e-scouting, beginner to advanced elk calling, gear, fitness, nutrition, shooting processes, hunting scenarios, strategies, and tons more. They've got some very big names on this platform that give you their personal expertise as you go through the course. It's the best way to make you the best elk hunter as you get into the woods. So go to theelkcollective.com and use promo code The Western Huntsman for $20 off. It's normally $89, so when you use my promo code, it's going to be the best $69 you've spent on elk hunting, and I guarantee you it's worth every penny. Check it out, guys. Hoffman Boots. Let me give you guys a piece of advice from a dude with many miles on his feet. Never skimp on quality hunting boots. Hoffman Boots is a fourth-generation, family-owned company based in North Idaho. I've been sporting a pair of Hoffmans for close to a decade. Particularly, I like the Hoffman Explorer in the 8-inch. In my most humble opinion, again, Hoffman offers the most comfortable hunting boot that does the least amount of damage to my feet after several miles on the mountain. Very little break-in period on these boots, by the way. I took them right out of the box and went on a crazy elk hunt, not even a blister. For hunting, they have the Explorers and the Summit boot offered in insulated and non-insulated. And ladies, check out the new women's Hoffman Explorer 400. They also carry lineman boots, winter pack boots, logging boots, and hiking boots. Get totally outfitted at hoffmanboots.com, and at checkout, as you know it's coming, use promo code, all caps lock, Huntsman10 for 10% off. Last but not least, Tacticam. If you're interested in self-filming your hunts, whether for, memories or making hunting content, check out the Tacticam products like the Spotter LR, Tacticam 5.0, and the Film Through Scope system, all of which are available at thewesternhuntsman.com, which helps support our fight against the anti-hunting movement. But my favorite is the Tacticam Reveal cell cams. I use these cell cams all over my property, and I'm like obsessed with monitoring the wildlife in real time with these cameras. They not only text me instantly when a buck or a bear is cruising through, my reveals make for excellent security systems. I know when the FedEx dude is delivering packages way down at the bottom of our driveway. And I also know if some knucklehead shows up to try to steal them. I know when someone's trespassing or if I have the kind of wildlife roaming around that I don't want, like a coyote. And I quickly react with my cat-like reflexes. Great for trappers, great for hunters, security, anything. Guys, check it out at tacticam.com because I don't have the reveals on my website right now. Let them know I sent you. Tacticam.com. Let's get back to the show. Here we go. No, it's a great point. It's a great point.
That's just what it was. They were out there hanging out, thinking about this shit because they had nothing else to do, and they were thinking about some crazy ass. Oh, what is this? Oh, how do we do this? Well, this equals this, and that's how it kind of manifolded. It went from a chess match to a crazy ass Olympic event of chess in the mind, and that's where they took it and they multiplied it, and we have it. We're just not doing it how they did it. We're doing it kind of how they want us to do it, and we're sheeple. I'm sorry to tell you,
no, totally.
This is my opinion. We're total sheeple, and we have no clue of what America is. Every other country. So the crazy part is I have friends in other countries who I've talked to, and I've had passionate conversations with about everything in life you can think of. And what they learn about America growing up, and these are people who are younger than me, who grew up, and people who are older than me. So not just younger, older as well. And older, I mean, I think she was 35 when I was 28, so maybe 7 years older, so like a half a generation older than me. But what she was learning in high school about America was not anything pleasant that you would want or think that we are, or what we do.
That doesn't surprise me.
We would learn. I mean, it doesn't. This is 2005. I was in high school. I mean, what she learned in high school, she's probably like 2004, so earlier than me. So I mean, like, what you're learning is it's crazy concept. And my numbers, I'm not a math guy. Don't question me on what I just said. But what she was saying was like, we know that we think that you guys are idiots. Like, I'm attracted to you because you're an idiot and you're sexy and you work out and you're this hunk and you have this dream that unattainable. That and I'm trying. And she was so blunt to me in Vegas when I met her, and it was like, "Oh shit, what?"
Yeah,
What?
no, that's there is these other countries, they have a perception, and a lot of the perception is based around like this level of weakness that they see in Americans, in the common American, whether it's a mental or a physical weakness. And like you were saying, when you're talking about the educational system and what that has done and how that, like, it's a new thing. People think that, like, the way we have school now is this long, historied kind of setup. In the grand scheme of humankind, it's brand new. It's a brand new thing, and in my opinion, it's failing a lot of our kids. I'm not saying every kid, but a lot of them. And my wife and I, we homeschool our kids because we feel pretty strongly about this.
Smartest thing ever.
Well,
the
I'm
problem
telling you,
is not. It's not only the schools, bro. There's a whole combination of issues that you got here.
Totally.
You got the school. Every system of government is the issue.
Mm-hmm. And I just want I don't want the government anywhere near my kids. So, and I'm not
every system of government is the issue.
Yeah, and I'm not some extremist.
How do you govern schools though? Like how like if you
the problem with the public schools,
crazy balance.
The problem with the public schools and the system that we have right now, why there's so much contention over it, is because it was supposed to be governed on a very localized level. Like a school district, an elementary school in small town Montana needs to make their own decision because it's going to be way different than a school district in downtown Tampa, Florida or something, And so they've tried to nationalize this thing, and so it's just a shit show. And I'll tell you, man, homeschooling, I've taken some flack from friends and family members and other people who don't understand it, or they see it as some weird quasi thing from the 1980s where all the homeschool kids were weird, which they were. When I was a kid, like, if you'd asked me if I was going to homeschool my kids, I'd have thought you were crazy. In fact, 10 years ago, I'd have thought you were crazy. But it's a different world now. We're so connected, and there's so much there's much better options. And homeschooling our kids, my wife and I will, she'll tell you in a heartbeat, it is the number one best decision we have ever made since we've had kids. It is my kids are happier, they learn more, and they only spend 3 to 4 hours working on it every day. And the rest of the time, you know what they're doing? They're being freaking kids, and they're learning a lot more because of it. Anyway. End of rant.
Gosh darn right. God darn right. You're speaking my language, my man. You're saying everything that my heart is beating, because the problem is that there are people who have more influence than you as parents, you as individuals do over your kids. And that's the problem, is you have people who are spending more time with your kids than you are, because of the society that we live in that has placed all these crazy ass norms. So I can't blame the parents. I can't blame the people. I got to blame the society, because how can you afford a house that is fucking $27,000 to rent a month, and you got to figure out how to rent that out? Now you got to have a roommate and your kids live in one. Like, there's all kind of issues like in these places where you can only live, because not only do you have to think about you living in a place, you have to think about your kids living in a place, and then you living in that place. And I'm sorry to say, America, this is not a place where, like, people can just move and just live and not have to worry about other things. There are some privileges that some people benefit from more than other people, and they don't have to think about those things, and we won't get into that, because that's a whole other
It's like that. Yeah. It's like that in every country, though. Every country has a privileged class.
Well, I mean, we can go to Thailand, and Thailand is totally fucking chill. Jamaica's pretty chill. I mean, there's a couple countries that are pretty chill, but for the most part, yes, every country sort of has a caste system that will place upon you. But like you have to think about, like, my kids, my wife, she's Filipino and German and French. People see her, she's white. She is worried to move. I say, hey, let's move to Wyoming. She's like, no, I don't know Wyoming. What? Wyoming? I'm like, let's move to Montana. No, Montana. What? No, Montana College. No, Montana, California. Or like it's got to be super diverse. The pop, like there has to be diversity for a lot of people and for good fucking reason. Like I speaking personally, it's really hard it's really hard. I mean, I'm just speaking personally. I can't speak for every person who's melanated, but speaking personally, born in the Bay Area, it's really hard to like, even if you're following the rules, to like tell someone, hey, you might be breaking the rules. Being someone who might be a darker shade of color than other people is really tricky when you're at like work, when you're at like a place where you might like lose like or like gain or there's some kind of like power. Like it's hard to even work or have a like you when you're before your probation. I'll put it that way. When you're before probationary period, there is a period in which you just have to shut the fuck up, not say a damn word, and just kind of deal with whatever's going on. Because speaking up, and this is not just for me, this is for like a lot of people. A buddy who is Filipino, he just lost his job working at a place because someone was talking shit about the food he was cooking at lunch. Yeah, it was some kind of like lumpia. It wasn't even fish. It was a lumpia. It didn't even, I mean, in my opinion, when you heat a lumpia in the microwave, it ain't like fish, but someone was making some remarks at work. Anyway, there was issues when he brought some issues up. He ain't working for that company anymore. There was an issue at work where I was bringing up some stuff where I wasn't even bringing it up. I was just kind of like asking questions. I was just kind of like, hey, what happens if this happens? Because someone else was doing what I was suggesting. And then when I asked that question before my 90-day probation, it was about 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from 90-day probation.
Oh, man. Really?
No. Not 90 days. 90 days on 3 months. I'm sorry. We had a 6-month probationary period at the place I was working at, and I was 2 weeks away from passing my probationary period with the provided. I gotta be very specific. With the provided company that backs you when you have, obviously you have a big company you work for. You have this back company that works for you, and I can get into specifics, but if you work for any kind of company that does construction, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I had the backing. I had 2 weeks before the backing could actually come into effect and be like, hey, no, you can't and can't do anything. And then all of a sudden, because I asked the question, well, there might have been some other stuff. I don't know. I don't want to say that I was perfect at what I was doing. I feel like I was doing a really good job before I even asked any questions, but I asked the question. I asked the question to the wrong person. And when I asked that question, and my supervisor was not there, and that pissed him off. And anyway, I don't have a job anymore because, and that happens a lot.
A question?
Well, all over a question that ruffled feathers on a vacation. That was what that he. I get it. It was a question. He was on vacation. He or she was on vacation, and when I asked that question, the question was brought to the attention above that person, and when that person decided to ask the individual, they were still on vacation, and that individual was allowing other people to do different things than they were allowing me, and that was the problem. It wasn't that I asked the question; it was that the question I asked was pertaining to not. So I had to drive about 2.5 hours to get to the place that I was working. Other people were able to take their vehicles home instead of having to drive their personal vehicles to the place they're working. I had to drive my personal vehicle.
Yeah. I'm smelling what you're stepping in. I know this argument. I know this argument very well.
It was kind of like, all right, I was asking, the question that got brought to a person's attention was, my car is going to break down because a light got triggered in my vehicle. What were to happen if I was not able to make it to work prior to my 2-week probationary period? That was my question because it's what happened, and I did not want to be this unreliable guy who was like, hey, I can't come today because of my car. Well, like I knew better because my car light popped on, 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, look, what happens if this shit happens because this just happened, and like I'm spending $1,400 a month to get to work, let alone on top of the rent that I'm paying, $2,700 to rent this place, on top of the food that I gotta pay. Like there's so much.
You pay $2,700 a month in rent.
There's rent, gas, water, and like garbage. All that equals like 27. Yeah.
Shit.
All that's like 27.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The rent. 3-bedroom here in Cali, and then like there's a lot, man. It's I'm not complaining. You gotta be a man. You gotta suck it up. You gotta do what you gotta do. But
dude,
it's hard, man.
I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not trying to promote people. I'm not trying to promote Californians moving to Idaho. But that fucking is nuts. That is freaking nuts. It's
hard, man. It's hard. So rent's like 21. PG&E's like 3 to 4 to 5 sometimes, depending. Right now it's probably a little bit more. And then food, and then gas. Water and garbage is also on top of all that. So it really depends on what month it is and how much we're using and all that shit. But it averages about 27 to 26 a month. I haven't spent less than 25 a month in probably like 3 years. The last time we re-signed for our rental spot was about 3 years ago. It's probably the last time I was paying like 25. But 25 still is crazy to me.
That is crazy, dude.
But
yeah,
that's what we're doing.
I rented a house when I first got out of the service, and it was like on 5 acres. And I mean, it wasn't very big, but it's like this little cabin. It was this little cabin kind of thing, and it had a little kind of barn, and it was on like 5 acres, and it had a creek that was more seasonal. But when it was running, there was cutthroat trout that would swim up this creek, and so I'd go back there and catch them, especially because this was back in the day. I didn't have a dime to my name, and so I would go catch these fish because that's all I had. I didn't have anything I didn't have any money to buy dinner or anything, and so I didn't have any groceries, and I'm single, and so I'd catch fish. I'd catch 2 for me and 1 for my dog back in the day. So,
dude, oh my God.
Anyway, that place on 5 acres was $395 a month. That's all that was.
Oh my God, dude.
I can't imagine what it is now. I'm talking, this is like, almost 20 years ago. But
now it doesn't exist. It's been subletted. There's been a house developed on top of it. It's
I'll bet you it's still there. I'll bet you it's still there, but I'll bet you it's a hell of a lot more rent wise, just because our area's gone way up. But I still don't think it'd be $2,500 a month.
Oh my God, I can only imagine having like trout and ramen noodle soup for dinner in college.
It's pretty good.
God,
it's funny,
bro.
It's funny you say
that.
I did that.
Good.
Yeah, cutthroat trout. And if you have like bacon in your fridge, and I a couple times I'd have like a half thing of bacon, I would put a bunch of butter inside the trout and leave the skin on, and I wrap the skin in bacon and put it all in tin foil, and I'd put it on my stove, and then you cook up the ramen noodles and put butter on that shit, and then you put the fish on top of the noodles. Pretty good.
Dude, you got me thinking about dinner tonight, bro. I'm thinking like, fuck, when you're poor, I got money in my pocket, but I'm like, I got some salmon in my pocket. Might have to wrap some bacon around that salmon and see what's up with some ramen tonight.
So I might have to. You know what, I'm curious because we keep getting off subject here, and it's a fun conversation, man. But I really want to get this information out because this is what really piques my interest with stuff. When I'm talking to somebody like, you're in this big urban kind of area, and now you've, a few years ago you get into hunting, and now you go hunt moose over here, and now you're going over there to hunt bear, and all these things are going on hunting wise. You have like I don't know, epiphany moment or something where you're watching Randy Newberg on TV and it kind of inspires you to get into hunting, and now you're going black bear hunting with Randy Newberg. How did that work? How did you meet Randy?
So I've met Randy probably like the way anyone else would meet Randy, I guess. I mean, I met Randy from promoting Campfire Evolution, getting put on podcasts, and then like having folks talk about me on podcasts. And that's kind of what brought Randy around is like I got put on Brian Call's podcast, the Gritty Bowman, and then I got put on oh my God, I'm so sorry that I just forgot your name.
Dude, it happens to me all the time.
The Wild Initiatives podcast.
Oh yeah.
I got put on his podcast.
Okay.
And I told him my story. I told both of them my story, and they reached out to Randy. Randy saw them both, and he was like, you know what? Let me have this guy on a podcast. So I got Randy. Randy invited me on his podcast. I talked to Randy. It was all good. Like, hey, here's my number. If you need anything, I'll help you out. It's all good. So
cool.
That happened. I talked to Randy about where to go bear hunting. I'm going to go bear hunting in Montana. Where should I go? And he's like, you should check out this spot, this spot, this spot, this spot. I'm like, okay, well, here's this spot. Actually, I have a buddy who was close to this spot. We can go bear hunting. I think he's going bear hunting in the same area. I'll hook up with him. He was great. Cool. It's perfect. The area of Montana was probably not the best place for me to go hunting. And I learned that the hard way and left that area immediately and went to Wyoming, which was amazing. Go to Wyoming.
What do you mean? Like the bear density was low or something, or was it something else?
There was a lot of I was very uncomfortable in the area. Let's just say
were people treating you like shit? Is that kind of what it was?
I'll put it like this. The culture in the area is different than what I'm used to. And the culture in the area was people who are of a color tone darker than what they are okay with shouldn't be in the area where they are hunting, because there may be other people on the menu other than the tags they have in their pocket.
Oh man, that kind of shit blows me away. That just blows my mind.
I can't say that I got shot at or anything like that. I just felt very uncomfortable by the interactions I've had with the people that I've crossed paths with while I was hunting in the area that I was hunting in. It was very uncomfortable. It was very abrupt. That it was not like a passive. You know what I mean? It was very direct, and they communicated very well where they wanted someone who was not from the area to be. And when I heard that, not from having a morning interaction with these individuals and misinterpreting this interaction as like I don't understand what they're saying. It must be, he reached for his gun and taps his hat and pointed it at me because that's what they do out here. It wasn't because he didn't like me. It was totally because he was like, yeah, this is what we do. We're friendly, and we grab our gun and we tap our hat with our gun and point it at people we don't know, because this is what we do in this part of the place that we were at. And that's why I took the first time. And the second time, when I received a look instead of a wave, after I waved at the end of it, hi, Chili and Coco, my dog, go outside. Thank you. My dog just ran into my shed. Sorry. After I received the second, there's three separate vehicles that had passed my path at this moment in time and space. If you will. I'm trying to be as like broad as possible.
Dude, you don't have to walk like.
Well, I hate talking about it because it doesn't matter. It's like people hear it and it doesn't matter. It doesn't also, like
it kind of does matter.
Like
It does matter, and I'll tell you why. That one of the reasons I like doing these podcasts, and I actually heard this explanation. I think it was like on Joe Rogan. I was listening to one of his, and he explained that the beauty of having a long form content podcast like this is you can actually we can have real fucking conversations. We
can.
These
but
aren't
at the
these
same
aren't
time when
7-second
we do,
blurbs.
there's gonna be, and I know this because I've dealt with this in my personal. There's gonna be people who hear it and then they automatically have a feeling about what you're saying personally to them. So I try to be as broad and specific as possible so that I don't misinterpret anyone else's feelings and anyone else's like what they've done with the community as anything else. So I try to be so specific
I get
and
that.
so broad and so like this is what happened here, because I don't want anyone else anywhere else to feel like what the fuck. No, that's not how I feel. Well, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about here at this place, because right after I got the gun pointed at me, right after I got told that I shouldn't be there because of the color of my skin, right after I got told, get the fuck out of here.
Arlando, somebody said that because of the color of your skin that you shouldn't be there?
No. I'll be specific. They said, your kind doesn't belong around here.
So basically the same thing.
The hunting spot.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Because that's
I gotta be specific.
One of the things, I'm super naive to a lot of this stuff in a lot of ways. Again, going back to like my military days, it's fucking skin pigmentation. We don't give a fuck, right?
The funny thing is, I can't even say it. I can't even say it how he repeated it because it was so casual. He was like,
yeah, and see, that's
your
like
fucking kind don't belong around. It was so casual. I can't even do it because it was just like, this is how we talk. This is how I am. This is how it is. I can't even do it.
That makes sense. And see, I can't even relate to. I'm a white dude, right? So I can't even relate to it because I don't know. I think that there's a lot going on with that too, and it irritates the shit out of me because I think on one side of it there's like this hypersensitivity to like this whole race thing, and the other side of it is there's some racist motherfuckers, right? And there's these two parts, and so when you first started talking about what you're saying, it's like, man, I don't know. Are you sure it was a race thing, or was it like more there's a non-resident in my hunting spot? Because that's how I would look at it. Like, I don't care what color you are. Are you in my hunting spot? I don't care if you're purple.
There was nothing said about like black. It was your kind. That can be taken however you want to take it. I can be from New York. I can be from the South. I don't know. I'm not from Montana, probably, or from there was black people from the place I went to, which I'll bring up later. But so I don't know, which is why I'm trying to be so specific, because I've got so much feedback from being like, this was racist. But I know in my heart that this was racist because I've dealt with it before, but no one else has dealt with this before. No one else who follows me has dealt with it before. No one else is like, there's a lot of people who are like, wait, what? This happened to you? Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't. So I got to be like, look, okay, maybe you're right. I'm not going to sit here and be this guy with blinders on and be like, this is what it was because of 95.
Yeah.
No, like, I'm just going to be like, this is what it felt like. And this is what it felt like. And multiple occasions, even when I bring it back to camp and I ask the person that I came with had a sweetheart. I want to say the person I came with was the sweetest individual I've ever met. He met me on Facebook. He invited me out to his bear spot. He knew there was bears there. There was huckleberry. There was all the sign you can ever think of. It was a very berry place. He was so sweet, so nice. He had nothing and offered me everything. I want to tell you that. I want to say that this person who was white from the area that I'm talking about was so sweet and so nice. He invited me, had no clue who I was, followed me on Facebook back in the day, not even Instagram, Facebook, followed me, invited me to his place. I met his son. I met his family who was meth addicted, crackhead, yes, but that's not the case. Doesn't matter. He invited someone to his place of residence to meet personal life. To me, that's heart. It's heart to me. At the moment of meeting this person, I did not even think anything like this would happen. Like, not even clue. Like, I was just like, oh my God, it's love in the hunting community. Mm-hmm. What? It's just so much love. Even his best friend who didn't hunt, who was talking about racist shit. Like, yeah, I beat up this black guy because he was talking. I was just like listening to him, like, man, it's hard out here. You gotta be cool. Yeah, I'm like making excuses. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You gotta be cool. You gotta no. And I'm like, everything's cool. We're having food. We're hanging out. Everything's a blessing. So much fun. And then this happened, and that happened, and this happened, and then I go back to camp, and I'm like, hey, is there anything like racist about this place?
Is there any what? Is there any?
I asked him, is there anything racist about this place that I should know about? Gotcha. I asked him, point blank, at lunch when I got back. Because when we woke up that morning after the gun got pointed, after I got flipped off, after I got mugged, like looked at, not like robbed, looked at very aggressively. I ignored it all, and we went to camp. He said, let's go our separate ways. We went our separate ways. When we went our separate ways, those interactions happened. We went back to camp. I asked him, is this a racist place? Should I be afraid? His response was, it's not racist. We're just very old-fashioned here. I was like,
well, what does that mean?
I don't know what you mean by that. I'm not old. I'm from California, bro. I'm the opposite. No, what? In my head, I'm thinking, I look at him and I'm like, okay, let's just hunt together from now on, is what I say. When I got in my car, I turned it on. Luckily, my car made a crazy ass noise. And he was like, you should go down and get that checked out before we go any higher. I was like, you know what? You're right, buddy. I will. I got down the mountain, went to the gas station. The lady at the gas station, I want to give her a kiss and make her a motherfucking bear pie. Because the lady at the gas station, I filled up and I was like, hey, is there anywhere I can get my car looked at? Because I'm having some car problems. She said, honey, any place around here is no. You need to go very far away from here, actually. I was like, wait, what? She said, you need to get the fuck out of here. Out of here. She looked at me like, get out of here. You're not from here. You need to go. She didn't say that, but she was like, honey, you need to go past, I think it was like past Kalispell. I think you need to go past Kalispell. Where you headed after? Like, I'm going to hit the Billings after this. Or I was actually heading to Wyoming. So you need to go to Billings. If you're heading to Wyoming, go to Billings. You know what? I'm getting the fuck out of here because this lady just told me that I need to go to Billings and don't go to any spot around here because her uncle owns an auto shop and he's fucking super crazy and hates a lot of people. So don't go there, and I'm going to get raped there, but I won't get raped in Billings. So I'm going to Billings because she said
raped.
Raped financially. I'm sorry. Let me clarify. Raped financially over my car.
I thought you like there's these weird Montana rednecks that like to rape black dudes or some shit.
It ain't that. It wasn't. I'm not sure if it was that weird, but financially taken advantage of because I was in a place that I did not know anyone, and the color of my skin would be taken advantage of. That's what she meant. She meant like taking advantage of. Excuse my language, ladies. I didn't mean any like degrade, like anything less than what happened, because there's been shit happened to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. I just gotta clear that up because it's, for some people, it's very serious. Than me making whatever joke I just made. So I apologize for anybody who's been put through that, but financially taking advantage of, and she said, get out of here. And I left, literally, I drove about 4 or 5 hours to Billings, and I got to Billings and went to McDonald's. The first place I went, Microplastic Central, McDonald's, and got a 2 McDoubles, 2 McChickens, and 2 large fries, and was so happy when I pulled up to the window and seen a woman of color in the window. I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, I'm safe. I got a hotel and I crashed, went to sleep. Went to Wyoming.
That was in Billings?
That was in Billings. Well, Billings is the eastern part of Montana, correct?
Yeah, right there.
Yes,
and you're super close to the Montana. You kind of drop down into Sheridan out of there once you get into Wyoming.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. So I went to Billings, crashed in Billings before I went to Wyoming to hunt elk. That was my whole plan was to hunt for a whole month. I was going to hunt bear for 2 weeks and then hunt elk for 2 weeks, for a week, and then hunt elk and mule deer for another week after that. So hunt elk for like 2 weeks and then hunt just mule deer for a week. That was like my whole big like Campfire evolution. I'm gonna film everything I do plan.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about like the story of Campfire evolution and where that came from.
Campfire evolution came from the lack of people that I seen in the outdoor industry, and it was sort of a lack of exposure to people from other states, literally. But in California, it's really hard to find people of color who hunt like you.
In California? Did you say
Cali.
In California?
In California, like it's hard to find somebody who's like you, who's like, I'm chill, I'm loud. I'm not gonna be at camp. Like I'm playing music at camp. Like I don't give a fuck about no goddamn bears or deer that's around my camp. We're hiking 5 miles to go away from camp any goddamn way. I'm probably gonna be playing some music at camp and having fun and barbecuing and like smoking a cigar, like having fun. That's like, it was hard to find. I found folks who do that, but it's really hard to find folks who hunt like you hunt. Like normally it's like that. All right, we're at camp. We're gonna fire real quick. Hey, go ahead and make a tent. We're gonna make a tent. And it's like, no, I'm like, what? Why?
Are you talking like backcountry camping where they won't even light a fire because they think it's gonna scare the elk away or whatever?
I'm talking about, the first couple of years I went hunting, it was with people who I've not met or like hunted before. It was like, I want to go hunting. I don't know who to go hunting with. And I went out to these backcountry places. Yeah, it was backcountry. Like we hiked a while and when we got to camp, it was like very strict rules at camp. And I did not enjoy myself. It was not fun. It was like I felt very out of place.
You would dig my camp. You would dig my camp.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
We get. I mean, obviously, Arlando. I'm getting a little bit older. I'm getting a little long in the tooth, so they're not as rowdy as they used to be. But my elk camps back in the day, especially. I mean, we're talking. We had guitars playing all night long. There were many times when we watched the sun come up when we shouldn't have. We should have been in bed. And now I am going to if any of you listening are gonna thinking about writing me a nasty message about that, let me explain something. I get that does not bode well for notching tags because it didn't. I'll be the first to admit it. We had some rowdy camps. And but what you're talking about, Arlando, is like this when it's so stiff and so regimented, and oh my gosh, I gotta zip the tent up and be asleep by 8 o'clock, kind of thing. Sometimes the lack of spunk in camp kind of takes away from the experience where we're supposed to be there and share a campfire and share stories. And I always when I did a lot more backcountry hunting than I do now, spending the night in the backcountry, because I don't know, backcountry gets thrown around in a way that I think I hunt the backcountry every freaking year, but I don't spend the night in the backcountry all the time. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of different interpretations.
It's different for folks, but it depends on like what you're imagining. Like if you're like alone, like imagining the History Channel's Alone, the show where you're alone.
Yeah,
it ain't like that's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, I get it.
I mean, to me, if you're out of the highway interface system of the Western United States and you're in some backcountry roads, there's dirt roads.
What that means, cuz, is that when you about like that 5 mile cut from that yada freeway cut, and you over there, you don't hear no motherfucking freeway, bro. You don't hear no yada, car, no boop, bang, 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 bang. You hear none of that. That's what that means. When you about that 5 mile cut from that yada, you ain't hear nothing. You just hear that the yada,
I don't even know how you do that, dude.
That's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about. For our listeners that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, even when I would spend the night in the backcountry, I'd take a flask of whiskey and we'd sit around the fire and chew the fat and just have a good time. And so I know what you're saying. I feel like you'd like when we do our camps. They can get pretty rowdy, and that usually only lasts like a couple of nights, and then the rest of the time we take hunting a little more serious. But there is a balance there. I used to hunt with this guy that used to say, "There's no party until something's in the dirt," or whatever. How did he say it? He had
right. That's it.
Yeah, and I get that sentiment. I totally do. I wasn't disparaging him for that attitude, but he would come with me and my little brother, and my little brother is a rowdy son of a bitch. So me and him would get together, and we'd start knocking back. We'd start emptying a cooler out and emptying bottles, and this guy'd be passed out snoring at 8:00. And Tim and I, my little brother, we'd still be up at the butt crack of dawn getting out there on the mountain, but we didn't feel good. And it was hard. It does make it harder. So I'm not saying it's the right way to hunt. I'm saying it's the right way to get a full experience of this thing we do that we're also passionate about. And it's okay to sometimes have a good time around the fire. That's all. That's it.
I'm going to say the exact opposite of what he just said, because I went hunting with my buddies who do not hunt, who are not hunters, who are not about that life 100% whatsoever, but I am. I went hunting / camping / hiking with a tag in my pocket with these guys, and I had the most fun I've ever had. And on the last night that I ever thought I would ever do anything, being loud as possible, bringing a Bluetooth JBL4 speaker with me, we're playing, I probably at this, actually when I shot this pig, I was playing Fleetwood Mac Dreams. And
really?
That's not what we were playing the whole time. The whole time we were playing Mac Dre and all kinds of rap music and Lil Wayne. But at this time when I shot the pig, we were being loud and doing things that are probably not legal in other places, and being very loud in California. And these pigs popped out, did not care. And I had a rifle and a tag, and it's year-round pig season in California, so it don't really matter what time of year. And I pulled that motherfucking rifle 308 out and shot that pig, and we cut it up listening to Mac motherfucking Dre.
I don't even know who Mac Dre is, dude, but I love it. So
it was the craziest experience. So what I'm getting at is the funnest time I ever had hunting prior to like meeting like people who are like me was when I wasn't really hunting. I was just hanging out with a rifle and a tag in my pocket at a place where there was public land and people and pigs that you can shoot. So that was the funnest time I ever had. And since that time, I was like, no more of this, like, this is how you do it. This is what you do. No more of that. It was from then on out, I was solo hunting. Campfire Evolution was kicked off because I wanted people to hunt how I had fun hunting. It wasn't like, I realized why a lot of people don't hunt is because that shit don't look, that's not, what? That's what, yeah. No, that don't look fun to me at all.
I agree, man. I actually, there's some podcasts that I've listened to, and it's like, and the way that they describe how they go out and go about it or whatever, it's like, man, I would not want to hunt with you, dude. That sounds like a job. And I hunt because it's my connection to nature. It's my primal thing that I've been a lifelong student of, and it's something that I always have to fulfill, and I take it damn serious, man. I take it more serious than a lot of people do. But I also have a lot of fun while I do it. And when you take the fun out of it, when there's so much convenience in this life that we have here in the States, where nobody needs to go hunting. We can run down to the grocery store and grab a ribeye if you so desire. But that's not why we hunt. We hunt for the meat and all that. I do, I'd be in big trouble with my wife if I didn't fill the freezer. So yes, there is that aspect of it, but there is a fine balance. There is a fine balance. Like you've got to have the memories and the adventure and the fun and like I don't know what song you were talking about or whatever the artist was. I don't know who that is, but you and I are on the same. We're connected because we have the same mentality on that. Where I love the name Campfire Evolution because it is bringing it so that other people that have never experienced it can see this from a distance and see that there could be a lot of enjoyment and fulfillment out of it. And it's not some regimented thing where we're just out there, trying to stick to this daytimer schedule thing. Like you remember the daytimers from back in the 90s? You carry those around.
Oh yeah, big time, big time.
Something like that. That's not what hunting is. Like get out there and take it serious and do your thing. I take it pretty dang serious, but I don't take it nearly as serious as other people do, and I still notch tags. So like it's not that big of a deal. I don't know where I'm trying to go. I'm probably gonna piss people off, which is fine. I usually do.
I mean the moment that took it for me, bro, honestly, I'm gonna be 100%, was when I was hunting solo. It was my first successful deer hunt that I posted on YouTube. The film is horrible, but it's there. The first year that I went bow hunting with my bow, I had a old bear bow that was not like a dope bow like these Bowtex or Hoyts or whatever, Matthews. Went out hunting, shot a buck. I was literally in my little pop-up tent that I had, and I was literally playing music when this deer came in anyway. Like I had a trail cam. I was like, he's never coming in. He normally comes in at this time. 2 hours after he comes in, he's not coming in. So I'm just going to be on play some music and just hang out and just hang out and just figure out like what I'm going to do with my life and just think about stuff. And then I did that. I was playing music. I was probably like taking pictures and selfies and videos and talking and doing all kind of stuff, being loud, not being quiet whatsoever as a hunter. And then my deer came in. Granted, he came in a different area than I had originally thought. I had to like go out and go find him. But he came in and I shot him, and there he was. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, bam. I got him, and it was not quiet. I smelled. I did not have any scent or anything. I just popped up there and popped up my pop-up tent. So it wasn't like my pop-up tent was, you got to have it seasoned there for a couple of weeks before you get. No, it was, I just plastic. Oh, brand new. Popped it up. Amazon
shipped. The seasoning of the tent.
Oh yeah, you gotta season your pop-up tent before we go hunting. Nah, I didn't do none of that shit. I just got there, popped it up, sat in there, and started scrolling on YouTube. And then when I lost signal, I just started making videos and posing. And he came in. And I shot him. I had fun. I was by myself. I had fun. It was like an emotional trip for me because I was so pressured to shoot a deer and get to meet my first year. Everyone's saying I can't do it. I got to do it. I have to do it. My first year making it, like, it was so much pressure on me mentally.
What is it? What is it about that, man? Like when people say you can't do it, you're not ready, you're not this, you're not that, and it just drives you.
ADHD.
Is that what it is? Is that what they say? That
for me,
I'm no gynecologist, but I'm here to say I don't know what the technical term is.
When someone says I cannot do something, that is when I hyper focus. My wife calls it hyper focusing. I call it my superpower. I hyper focus on something and I get it done. That goes for everything across the board. It goes for work, life, relationships, filming. Like people were like, "Wait, you want to film your own hunts? You're not gonna be able to film your own hunts. You don't know how to do that." I was like, "All right, fuck you. I'm gonna get this camera." Got the camera. They're like, "Wait, the camera's trash. You gotta get a better camera." I'm like, "Fuck you. I got 2 better cameras, and I got the editing software, and I took a class over the summer on videography and how to edit and put stuff together, and I got with this person, and I'm doing this, and I'm gonna keep doing stuff for free because I want to get better, and I'm gonna go to these businesses and say, hey, can I film your commercial for free because I want to have a better portfolio. I'll do it 100% for free. I don't care what you say." And like all that stuff is making me better, and I focus on that moment. Someone said I would never be able to do it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And if it's not good now, okay, that's okay. I'm going to get better tomorrow. And if it's not good tomorrow, that's okay. That's okay. Because the next day, I'm going to keep working on getting better. And that's what happened with everything from hunting. Hunting, it was like, all right, I'm going to start hunting. Then I went hunting. And literally, the first year I went hunting, I didn't feel like I was hunting. I was on private property in Wyoming. I was knocking on doors to shoot antelope. That was hunting my first year. It was like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. Me and my buddies, hey, buddy, you want to go hunting? I'm going to take you hunting. All right, let's go hunting. We went hunting, and we were knocking on doors the whole time. It was not hunting for me. For me, it was disappointing because I watched Randy hike in Alaska, and here I am knocking on farmers' doors in Wyoming, looking at the antelope we're about to shoot. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, that's rough, man. That's a rough one.
Yeah. It just took over this, and it went crazy, and that's just my personality. Is when something happens, I need to do it 100,000% exactly. I went from hunting to bow hunting to now I'm shooting only trad. Like my whole thing is trad. Like only reason I would grab my Bowtech bow is because like I got like a crazy ass tag that I better be 100% at 80 yards. You know what I mean? Like that's the only reason I would grab the Bowtech if it was like
that tag is for this year, like in the fall.
So no, I don't have that tag, which is why I'm only shooting trad this year. Because well, actually, I'm going to Montana. I don't have the bow that I want to shoot because the bow that I want to shoot is the only bow that can kill a bear. I got a Bowtech bow. I'm sorry, take that back. I have a Bob Lee custom recurve bow that he built for me. That's about 58 pounds at my draw length. The bow that I do have is a bear bow. It's only about 40-pound bow at 28. I'm pulling about 31, which probably pulls it to about, I don't know, about 45, 46. I don't know how the numbers work, but and that I don't feel confident in being able to shoot a bear and recover a bear. That's probably one of my biggest fears. And I actually love bears to the point where I've wanted to shoot a bear because of the love that I have for bears, but I've never ever pulled the trigger on buying a tag to shoot a bear until about like 2 or 3 years ago. And it's a huge emotional for me. I'm a city boy who used to watch Winnie the Pooh. You know what I mean? Like I'm a guy who was watching who had teddy bears growing up and like had this like thing about bears and who watched the movie Brother Bear. You know what I mean? Like
I forgot about that one.
Oh my God, Brother Bear! I can't even watch it right now before I go hunting with Randy because I'm not gonna shoot a bear because I just have this. I know because of my religion, spiritual thought process, I'll call it. I know that these other animals that we're harvesting are honestly just other spirits in different times in their lives and different times in their process that are going through a different lineage. And be eaten, need to eat. But because the bear and the man have so much in relation, and people don't realize, and I'm not trying to not have bear hunters hunt bears, but bears and man have a lot in common. And I mean this, especially in 2022, we should probably as men do what bears do and just like not fuck with our wives until it's time to mate. Just kidding.
Dude, I thought you were serious there for a minute. I'm like, shit, dude.
No. I love my wife, Cassie. Cassie, I love you, baby. You're my wife. I love you so much.
I'm pretty safe, man. I'm pretty safe. My wife doesn't listen to the show. She hasn't listened to the show in like over a year, which is perfect.
Oh, my wife is a super fan, so I'm safe. She? But I gotta be.
That's awesome.
And I gotta be careful what I say. Nah, she's super chill. We're super like open. I can probably talk about another woman's tits, and she probably be like, "Let me see your tits, babe." Yeah, she's awesome. She's amazing. She's super mom, super wife, super supportive, super everything. I can't even imagine for a better. Like I literally dreamed of a woman, and there she popped up on my Tinder. I swiped right. There she was.
Is that where you met your wife on that thing? I've heard
Tinder.
That app. I've heard of that.
That
app.
Yeah, so I was not ready to slow down when I met her. I was not ready at all to slow down, and she slowed me the fuck down big time.
Huh. No, that's cool, man. So I think you're the first person that I've talked to that actually met their spouse on Tinder. That's what it was. It was like I was first introduced to that thing when like I recorded. It was, I don't know, like the second or third episode of this podcast 3 years ago. Well, yeah, almost 3 years ago, whatever it was. Somebody brought up Tinder. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I'm not that old, man. I'm only 41. So I'm not like ancient.
Dude, you're young as hell, man.
Yeah, come on. That's not old, but I've been married. I've been married for a long time, and so I didn't know what it was, and so you're the first person. So it's cool.
Plenty of married folks on Tinder.
Is there? Well, I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
it's like I don't know how that kind of stuff works. So there's like this fascination with how that works. You meet somebody on this Tinder thing, and like when you say, "Oh, I swipe right," yeah, like I don't even know what that means. Other than I assume it's like being on Instagram and you swipe right to see the next picture.
The craziest thing is I was at a place where I was not looking for anything. I was just literally like every picture I was swiping right because I didn't care. I was just like, man, I just want to like see what happens. Mm-hmm. I just want to swipe right and see who likes me to see like who I can fuck. That was my only thought process at the time. I was pretty sure I was not going to be serious with any woman ever in my life. I did not want kids. I did not want to be in a serious. I was like, no, I'm making money. I got a house. I got dogs. Fuck all that. Like all that's going to do is distract me from what I'm trying to do. Forget all that. I was swiping right, and bro, I'll tell you what though. I swiped and looked at my phone and saw this woman was looking at me, and I swear to God, like she was like, and don't laugh anyway, she was this sexy shortstop with green eyes. Mm-hmm. And that caught my attention because the previous swipes were not, and when I say shortstops, anybody who's played any athletic sport who has met a shortstop knows what I'm talking about. You know the attitude of a shortstop who plays softball. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. You know how she is. She's spunky. She don't take shit. She will punch you in the dick if it need to be. Like she is a beast. She will. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to catch my breath with some of the fucking phrases you.
I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm talking about when I say a shortstop born after 1975. Totally. She is rocking and rolling with the shit, and she ain't playing no games. And that's what she was, and I was so drawn to that. That's why I was her eyes, like it wasn't even anything. It was a picture. I saw 3 pictures, and I was like, she's the one I'm going to marry. I literally said that. She'll tell you right now, we'll have her on 3-way on the park. She will tell you, I told her the first time I talked to her, I'm going to marry you. Crazy psycho.
Did you feel like
Tinder.
when you saw her, like the picture or whatever, did you have like this sense that, you knew in your head that you didn't know her, but there was like this familiarity? Does that make sense?
100%.
Like so you feel like you know her. Like okay, I bring that up because it's funny how you could translate, like how I met my wife, and how you met your wife. There's a few similarities there, where it's like I wasn't looking. I didn't want to like settle down and get married and have kids, and that wasn't the stage I was in, and I think that's when that happens. You find that person because you're not looking. You're not out trying to stick a puzzle piece into where the puzzle piece doesn't belong because you're not looking for it, right? And so all of a sudden you're on this Tinder, and it
or
makes
you're
sense
at the bar or the library or the grocery store or wherever you're at.
For me, man, I used to play in a band. And my wife was a bartender at one of the venues I played. And that's when I first saw her. It was like I'd never met her before, but for some reason I felt like I knew her. and it was like predetermined that was my future, right? And you can imagine I was in a fairly popular band. I was the front man. I was having fun, man. I didn't want to settle down, right? But that's
No
when
way.
that's when it happened.
Dude, you're
like,
in a
come
band,
on,
dude. What?
yeah, come
No,
on. Like,
all
well,
the
that's
locals are ready throwing their panties on stage for you. Please play that again. Hell no. I ain't trying to settle down. I feel you.
It's just that's I think when it happens and when you know it's right is when you're not looking. That's when you're not trying to mismatch a puzzle piece and put it somewhere. It just falls into place as the way it was like intended. However, spirituality side you want to put to it. But that's how I see it. So it's interesting hearing somebody how they can tell that kind of story that I can relate to, even though the circumstances were super different than what mine were. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? How I'm even explaining that?
Yeah, totally. I really think though it really takes losing. I really think it takes a good 1 or 2 heartbreaks though to really be
totally.
like, all right, nah, I'm good.
I feel like you're not a real man until you've had your heart broken.
I mean, no, you're not, dude. No matter if you're gay or straight, no matter what you are,
I don't care. I don't care about that. It's just you had your heart broken.
Of manhood.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get your heart broken, then you're like at least once or twice. Then it's like a boom. All right, you know what? No, because then you know what you're willing to deal with versus what you're like. You know what? I ain't with that shit. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. If you wake up and put makeup on, I'm sorry, you're not for me. You're not for me. Get out. Get out of my house now. That's how I am. No, if you wake up and the first thing you think about is how you look, I'm sorry. You are not going to like me because I'm going to throw away all your makeup because I think you look beautiful with no makeup on at all.
Very true.
That's the way I am.
There's some truth to that. Like, seriously, like, shit.
Like, some people who are okay with it, but then my best friend who's like, no, I only want to see my wife tip top notch. That's all I want to see. He's an old school Puerto Rican kind of cat. Like, no, I only want to see my wife looking good. Okay.
Is that like a Puerto Rican thing? Like their wife has to look
I can't
tip
say
top
that
all
it's
the
Puerto
all the
Rican thing. Pissed off all the time. I think that she's pissed off all the time. I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna get in trouble. I think all women
have
are
his Puerto Rican wife after your ass, dude. And she's gonna whoop your little ass.
I think all women of all ethnicities are pissed off all the time. So I'm sorry, my woman is white and she's pissed off all the time. I'm just kidding. I love you, babe. I love you, Cassie. She's not pissed off all the time. I don't mean that, but
Cassie, that was Orlando saying that. That was not me. I don't.
That was 100% me. I will tell you right now. But I really do think there's a different expectation of men in 2022. Like growing up, I don't mean like where you're at right now. You're past that 38-year-old stage. You're set. You know what I mean? You're no divorce. There's no. You know what I mean? You're set. But if you are divorced over 38 or you are under 38, there's a different expectation to be a husband. In my opinion, I could be wrong. In California, I will say where I'm at in the city, there's a different expectation to be a husband. You gotta work. You gotta be a dad. You gotta cook. You gotta clean. You gotta do all the shit. You gotta do. The roles have been sort of. There's a blur of roles, and you're not really sure where you're at, but you got to figure it out because you were brought up like, yeah, you got to do chores and mow the lawn and take out the garbage and all that shit. But now you got to vacuum and iron and clean and fold and do all the other stuff, and then wake up at 3 and 2 a.m. to change diapers and give the baby food and the other kid woke up and she wants to ride horses. She got to ride horses, but you got to wake up at 3 a.m. to get to work. It is just crazy. And I'm not the only dad. I ain't the only one. So I'm not sitting there saying it's hard for me. A lot of my buddies who are my age have this. It's hard. It's hard for us.
Okay, hold on. We gotta break some of the. I know we're going long here, man, and I apologize, but this is interesting shit. So, because I think that is, I don't know how to put that, but I don't know if it comes out of like this extreme version of the feminist movement or like this misguided, I don't know what you're driving at, because there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a balance, and I think that when you're in a marriage, right? And I didn't. You know what? Hopefully Randy listens to this, man, because Randy Newberg, he does like marriage advice podcasts sometimes, and I'll do my best to do him some justice here, but there has to be this balance where there is this shared mutual goal that you're both working towards. And if one person in the marriage has to do more work than the other person in the marriage, that marriage is going to like eventually kind of fall apart. And I don't know, is that kind of what you were getting at with that, like your generation? You feel like it's all on the man's shoulders, or it's all on the woman's shoulders kind of thing, or what? Like, what do you?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it is. I think it's society, man. I think that it's so hard in certain places to have you have to have a 2-income household. And when you have a 2-income household, and you have a man who is not, like, when I walk home, I'm going to be honest with you, ladies, when I walk home, I don't see dishes. There can be a sink full of dishes. I don't really, it's not my first thing I think about. Like, I walk home, I see garbage in the garbage trash. I see the chickens need to get fed. That's because I have chickens. I see the dogs need to get fed. I see the garbage need to get taken out. I see the lawn needs to get mowed. I see the fence. I see the other stuff that I've been taught to see. I need to go upstairs and get the all the shit out of the gutters, because the rain ain't, like, I see all that stuff. That's what my mom told me to see. I don't see vacuuming. I don't see the lawn. I don't see the lawn. I don't see the baseboard.
Well, what
I don't see the.
I think what we
I don't see any of that.
We're as men, and this is. I think in this day and age, this could be controversial as all get out, but there's a difference between the perceptions of a man and a woman, and how they interpret their world. The emotions are different. Their interpretations, their perceptions, they're very different. Men and women are different creatures, and the way their mind works is very different. I know some of you think I'm going like scorched earth by saying some crazy shit like that in 2022. But it's a fact.
Better be careful.
I'm going to get canceled, dude. Don't play this down in California. They're going to cancel me. But that and that.
I think a lot of men will be like, wait. We can't cancel this guy. He's saying something real quick.
But it's for the benefit of both. The benefit of both men and women. When you blur the lines in a marriage, and you blur the lines and act like there's this equal shared, no difference in mentality or gender thing and roles.
Everything is 50-50. Everything is half and half. Everything is this. Yeah. Everything is that.
You're killing.
I get it.
When you do that,
I get.
When you do that, you are killing the beauty of a marriage. When you don't identify the difference between a man and a woman, you are destroying the beauty that is in that makes a marriage. A marriage, it's
so confusing.
Differences that make it beautiful.
It's so confusing. You're so right, because it's so confusing, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I get that you're tired and you've been up with the baby, because we just had a baby. Our daughter was easy as hell. She just went to sleep at night, like we went to sleep, and there was no issues. But number 2 son, born right when I got my job at the. Well, I almost said the company at the place I was working at. When that happened, he screamed. It was so hard, and I get women. I get it. It is so hard when you have 2 kids screaming, and they need food, and they need diapers and showers and doctors, and I'm not home. I get it. Because I did it, and I get how hard it was for me when I was taking care of the kids and I was the only one doing it. It was hard as hell. It was
with that, Arlando, I want to say, like, I am not really talking about specific chores. I'm not saying women should do all of this and men should only do this and this, right? Now, I like in our marriage, we do have a very traditional role, in a sense that my wife's desire was to be a stay-at-home mom. That's what she wanted to do, right? And so I know that in a lot of, especially like where you live, that could be really freaking difficult, like a one-income family kind of thing. But it was for us too, and we made major sacrifices to make it happen because that's how important it was to her. And so that doesn't mean that I demand she do all the dishes, but do you know what? I don't do any dishes because my wife's so freaking anal about how they're cleaned that she's going to clean them anyway, even if I try to. So I get out of it. I love your crowd cheering.
I had to.
But
so, like, I gotta say, like, the interjecting that, like, I get what you're catching, and I'm with you. Like, I don't mean to, like, I don't want to come home and not do anything, but there's just I'm not good at certain things. I don't see them, and we don't see the same thing. Like, we don't. But, like, there's some things that I was not innately taught to be good at, and it was not important for me to focus on as a young man growing up. I was taught to, okay, get a job at 15. Okay, make sure you mow. Okay, make sure you on time. Okay, you're 15 minutes early, because if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Like, I was taught all the military hard shit that you need to do, because my dad was a military guy. All that stuff. That's what I was taught. I wasn't taught to, like, all right, you have to, like, make sure all your laundry is done, fold them, and then put them in the place that they belong every time. Like, don't put them in different drawers, because that's not okay. Put them in the same drawer that they were in the week before. I don't care about that. I just want my underwear. I don't care what drawer. It is just. I
don't give a damn. Like, who folds all their underwear? I don't get why that matters. When I was a bachelor, I put all my clean clothes from the lawn. I had a washer and dryer in my little rental house when I was a bachelor. I'd wash my boxers, and I'd put them in a grocery sack and put them by my bed, and I knew those were clean. And if they were unclean, they'd go on the floor, right? And so
as man shit right there.
I don't see what's wrong with that, but my wife makes sure, like, they have to be folded and on the left side of this drawer, and that's the organizational, She advocates for this real, organized setup in the dresser. And that's why, though, I'm not allowed to do laundry, because I fuck it up. I put, like, different colors in the washer that's not supposed to go. And she don't like that. So she just does it all. And
the part is that's
but
all
I take
society.
I take care of a lot of things that she never has to worry about. She don't have to take care of her car or the yard or, taking garbage out. She don't have to do all that. I take care of that kind of stuff. Anyway, the point is it's not that somebody needs to be doing more chores than the other. It's that they need to be balanced to whose talent matches whose talent, and whose passion matches whose passion, and just understand that this is a team, and that's what a marriage is. It's a team. It's not I'm a slave to the other, or you're a slave to me, or this new age thing where everything is so equal that you're not seeing the beauty and the difference between men and women, and understanding that those gender differences are what makes a marriage beautiful. That's it. I know it's controversial.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. What you just said is so controversial. I'm going to have to go and argue with my wife as soon as we get off this podcast. But
you should, man. Remind her who the man of the house is. You tell her.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that. Do you want to have a podcast with me in the future? Because this will never happen again. And I don't mean that, babe. I'm so sorry. I'm just joking. No. But seriously, there is a huge difference in the expectations of the roles of men who are, and I don't even know how to word this, because, like, this is a weird, like, I know men who have been divorced and now are dating women who are their age, who are also divorced, who have this, like, still new age expectation. So it's not even ages. It's just like this whole societal, like, pressure. And it's kind of like this Rick and Morty episode where they have these fuckbots, right? And these fuckbots, there's Morty. Morty finds his fuckbot.
Are you saying what kind of box are you saying?
So what I'm saying is, men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
Oh, okay.
And I think that is what's going to happen. There's going to be a point in time where all the men are on one planet, and the women are so smart and just so genius. They're just like, fuck it. Let's just send fuckbots this other planet where all the men are. We can be separate. Send fuckbots, get the semen, have the semen come back to us. We'll have babies. All the boys go back to the planet. All the girls stay here, and we'll just keep the fuckbots going because this is the best way to have our society. And honestly, I'm just like, God damn, maybe we're getting closer and closer to that shit because I am having a hard time being like working a 12-hour shift and staying up all night and like cooking dinner and washing dishes and then waking up the next morning. Like, it's so, I don't know if that's what men do. All men do. I'm like, this is what men do. Men work, wake up at 4, be at work at 7, get home by 7, then cook dinner, then put babies to bed, then wake up at night while babies wake up, then change diapers, then feed, then go back to bed, then wake up again at 4 to leave by 4:30 to then be at work at 7 and do it all over again. And then on the weekends, you still have to wake up all night because the babies are awake. And this is this crazy ass 2-year-old who wants to ride horsey all the time.
Man, that's you're stressing me out, dude. I don't even. I think that it's first of all, that's going to be super. I don't know how a hunting podcast, by the way, got on this topic, but I dig it. I dig it sometimes. First of all, I don't know how it would be having babies and toddlers when like my wife worked. So my wife didn't work. She was a stay-at-home mom strictly. And that's what we both decided would be best for the kids. Not necessarily
my
best for
wife's
me.
at home right now too. Actually, I can't say that she's
and that's just
not.
our personal choice. It doesn't mean that we think differently of people that don't choose that, but for us, that's what we decided, and we found that was best for the kids. That wasn't best for me. It wasn't best for her. It was best for the kids. So that was our decision. But what you were talking about, and I think what sometimes the interpretation or the perception of today's society kind of starts pointing at is people look at marriage, whether they're in a marriage or about to get married or thinking about how dreadful marriage sounds, is they look at marriage like this adversarial relationship. Like it's me against her or her against him. Like I'm a feminist and he needs to do all this, or I'm the man of the house and she needs to do all this. And it's this adversarial thing where they're missing the point as to what the beauty of a marriage is by teaming up and playing on each other's strengths. So you don't so when you're married, you don't have to be the strong one at every little thing, right? You need to be strong in the things that you're good at, and she needs to be strong in the things she's good at. And when you put those two together, it relieves some of your pains, it relieves some of her pains, and it strengthens the team as a whole. And people, that's how marriages get so fucked up today, is people look at them like they're this big adversarial relationship, like they're pitting shit against each other, or they get competitive with each other. Who makes the most money? Who does the most chores? Who doesn't do as many chores as I do? Who does this? Who didn't fold their socks right? Yeah, that kind of shit is what destroys marriages. When if you just take that adversarial sense out of it and understand that men are men, women are women, it's cool to have different gender like roles. It's okay. Like, I know it's old fashioned and controversial, but fuck, it's worked for thousands of years. It's okay as long as you two see it as a team and a common goal that you're both looking to accomplish. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Big uncle, you over here talking about rules to games people ain't playing no more.
Yeah,
like
I know.
Everything you're talking about is all stuff. These are all TV shows that are expired, and no one's even got the DVR for them no more.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
not relevant because there's so much new relevancy now. There's so much in your face on Fox News and on CNN and on Oprah and on whatever other show is out there. I don't know because I don't watch TV, so forgive me for not being hip to what's on TV.
Unless it's Randy Newberg, right?
Unless it's Randy or any other educational hunting show or even National Geographic or the History Channel or some kind of like crazy ass. Oh my God, I've been watching this show on Netflix, dude, about these crazy ass meals in China, and I'm about to make these bear dumplings. Oh my God, bro. Hopefully God will allow me to shoot a bear, and I'll be making these bear So when I hunt shit, I don't make shit that people eat. I don't do that. Fuck that. That's boring. I'm still, whatever. Fuck that. I'm making some crazy ass schnitzel, some steak Diana, some dumplings, some crazy ass broccoli sausage, cheddar, some 12-hour in the ground. Like I do crazy ass meals. Like I put a head in the ground and cook a fire on top of it for 12 hours. And like that's what I did, and I ate the head, and it was okay. It wasn't like a best. I didn't make a video on it because it wasn't really all that good. But I did it because I wanted to try it. But that's the kind of guy I am. I'm gonna make these crazy ass meals with this bear. I'm planning on hopefully allowing me to harvest. Hopefully the timelines align, and I'm able to place the bullet in the right place, and I can harvest this bear and recover the bear. But I have dumplings in mind. I'm gonna age a hind quarter in butter and honey. I'm gonna try to push it as long as possible, but I'm trying to go about 6 months. Try to push it 3 to 6 months, but if I can push it 6 months, that's the longest. But at least 3 months, I'm gonna have this bear in a nice cooled freezer or refrigerator with this, and it's called a unagi bag. It's like a freeze-dried bag that kind of breathes a little bit, but I'm gonna stuff it with honey and butter, so it's literally just gonna be butter, honey, wet aged bear hind quarter. We'll see how that turns out. And
that'll be good, man.
I'm praying that it turns out how I imagine. I imagine the honey is going to help cure it. I'm gonna freeze it first for 30 days after I get the bear.
Go ahead. I cut you
I'm
off.
Freeze it for 30 days. Get rid of the trichinosis, because after you freeze a bear for more than 20 days under sub 1%, 1 degrees. That trichinosis dies after 20 days. So I'm gonna freeze it for 30 days, thaw it out. Honey and butter melt.
Is that like if you put the bear meat in just a regular freezer for 20 days or whatever, it's gonna kill all the trichinosis? Is that what you're saying? Does it have to be one of those sub-zero thing?
So anything 5 and below.
Say that again.
Anything below 5 is gonna kill the bear for 20 days if it's in the freezer for 20 plus days.
Okay, or you cook it at the right temperature, which I can't remember. It's basically the same as like
cook
pork.
it.
It's not that big of a deal, but
160, you're good.
Yeah. Well, I'm pulling for you, man.
But I'm praying. I'm hoping. I got some stuff for you guys. I'll make some delicious meals for you, and we can do another podcast in a couple of months. And
we're gonna have to. Like we got so off track on this. That's not a bad thing. We covered some cool ground. I like some
crazy ground. I didn't even finish about good. Randy.
It's good sometimes just to stray off the path and just to have a couple of hunters jump on. That maybe, you live in this big, like, Oakland area, right? The big kind of San Francisco metropolitan,
city,
I live in a town.
Everywhere right here.
I love it. And I live in a town of 500 people. I don't even live in town. My closest neighbor is a mile away, dude. And so
I get weed and mushrooms delivered to my house if I wanted to. Like that's where I live. That's where I live.
Weed is still illegal in
my
state.
Legally.
Yeah. Weed is still illegal in my state. And so I love having these two different worlds come together, because we're people that have very different backgrounds, but we have the same passion, right? We're hunters. That's what drives our kind of like that primal spirit behind what motivates us to get out there and do this. And
we gotta put meat in the freezer, cuz we out here trying to put meat in the freezer just like anybody else. Like anyone else who goes out to the freezer and to the market, supermarket, the whatever, and you stock up on whatever you're stocking up on. Cuz you basically doing what we doing, cuz we just out here doing it, like trying to put that yada in the freezer, and we know what the motherfucking thing was eating. So it's the same thing. Your grass-fed, grass-finished beef is the same motherfucking thing as this motherfucking elk that was fucking this cow right before we put a bow in it, cuz it's the same thing, sir. It's the same thing. And I switch between up so people can know what I'm talking about, because it's real shit. Yep. It really is just real shit. Like,
it is
what
real
you're
shit,
doing,
man.
Grass-fed, grass-finished, you can't beat what we're doing.
No, none of that does, and that's okay. I'm not disparaging anybody that does, but don't disparage us because we love our purely organic wild game meat, and that is what fuels us. And it's just cool sometimes to kind of break up, especially sometimes the rhythm of my episodes that we do on this show, and have somebody like you on, and because you kind of broke the rhythm, right? We talked about shit I've never talked about on this show, and the audience, the folks that listen to my podcast, they know already where I stand on a lot of this stuff anyway, but I think this is going to be one of those conversations that's just going to help people put things into perspective, and they can agree or disagree, and it's entertaining one way or the other, right? I mean, that's one thing I knew when I reached out to you, Orlando. I'm like, hey man, you want to come on the show? I knew one way or the other, it's going to be an entertaining episode because you're one of those people that. You know how when you say you're on Instagram or something and you're kind of scrolling, you scroll past a lot of shit, but when I see Campfire Evolution, I stop scrolling. I make sure I watch because you're always doing something interesting. You're funny. You're entertaining. And it's just been a ball getting to know you the last, we've been recording here for 2 hours and 10 seconds so far.
Oh shit!
So
really?
I apologize.
My wife is gonna be mad as fuck.
Dude, I'm letting you go. We're wrapping this up right now.
I'm put like this right here, I'm put like this right here. Look, really, it comes down to there's a super huge commonality between all human beings, and I think once we find that niche commonality, a lot of the stuff that like I do and I communicate is gonna probably get looked past because you're not gonna see me for somebody who's like talking like, what I'm saying, like, I'm over here talking like, you're not gonna see me as that person. You're gonna see me as this person just chill and comfortable and talking because I know how he is and I know how this person talks and I know that he's not this fucking ignorant motherfucker. I know this person and I know that he's just comfortable and I know that this is just him having fun hanging out with the boys. And that's really what's going to bring people together. I appreciate and love and respect everybody listening to this motherfucking podcast. We family out here, cousin.
We are.
America,
yeah.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for reaching out and having a podcast with me because I am weird. I am different. And Randy's taking a leap of faith because this time on his show, the first time around, I was a little bit like nervous on his show. I was trying to be a little more reserved. I wasn't trying to like, I ain't trying to scare too much of his viewers, but this time around, this is my episode, and I'm rocking this Randy Newberg episode. We're going to be out here hunting bears, listening to motherfucking Stevie Nicks and motherfucking all kind of crazy-ass 70 motherfucking, like, we're going to be going crazy, dancing, Mac Dre, Stevie Nicks, Andre Nicotini doing big things and hunting bears, and hopefully for you guys, I'll have some bear bacon, some aged hind quarter, and I will have some dumplings, a very, very super. I don't even know how to say it because it's going to sound crazy racist, but a recipe from a place in China that is a village in a place where, if you watch the Netflix series Origins of Food, then you probably know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm referencing.
I haven't watched it. I've seen it in the little, you open Netflix, it gives you a bunch of options or whatever. I've seen that pop up. Anyway, cool. That's good to know.
That gave me a dumpling recipe that I'm trying. A bunch of recipes actually that I'm going to try with this bear meat. I'm going to substitute with whatever pork meat they use. Then I'm going to use the bear meat for it. But hey, I love you. I don't want to take much of your time because my wife's going to kill me and chop my balls off if I sit too long on this podcast. But I appreciate you, bro. We're cousins, we're family. You're my uncle, my nephew, whatever. Please have me on again. We need to actually meet up and put some meat on the fire together and have an actual Campfire Evolution for real.
I'm gonna bring you up to Idaho at one point, and we're gonna go hunt some bear or.
Oh, you're
something.
In Idaho.
Yes, sir.
What part of Idaho? Are you near Idaho Falls?
Nope, I'm way further north, man. I'm about 45 minutes south of Canada. I'm way up in the northern panhandle. So where we have both black bears, we have black bears and grizzly up in my neck of the woods. So
Wait, can you hunt them legally, both, or is it?
Well, not grizzly. No, you can't hunt grizzly anywhere in the lower 48.
I'm about to eat a grizzly bear. That's my life goal.
Well, they taste like shit. You know, they taste like shit.
I don't care.
But
I taste like shit too. If they're gonna eat me, I'm gonna eat them. Fuck them.
That's a good. I've never thought of it that way.
That's how I see it. If you're gonna eat me, I'm gonna eat you, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck.
Right,
I don't care if you taste like shit. I'm gonna smoke your ass with some onions and garlic and make it taste as good as I can. You can make them good.
I know you can make. If anybody listening has a good grizzly bear recipe, send it in jimandthewesternhuntsman.com and let me know. But no, Orlando. Seriously, this was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. As you said, you're my brother from another mother. Down there, I know you're in California. Sometimes I've talked shit about California in the past. Sometimes
I talk shit about California too.
It's not because of people like you. It's not because it's because you got like across the bay Senator Wiener over there trying to ban bear hunting, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I'm serious. Let's get you back on the show because we just kind of scratched the surface. And keep in touch with your hunt with Randy, man. Let me know. Like, text me if you get a bear down. I'll share all your shit. I'll share a picture of it or whatever.
I'm not saying anything until he posts it publicly on YouTube, not Fresh Act Plus. So you probably, if I'm gonna be ghost. I might talk to you personally. You might know. You might. But like, I might not let the public know what's happening. So you can hit me up personally, and I'll tell you.
And just tell me, like, text me the picture and be like, "Hey, just between you and I, this is what went down." I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I have friends they do that. They I have a lot of friends that do like content creation and stuff or whatever you call that.
Right.
So anyway,
but if you want to see what happens, you need to sign up for Fresh Tracks Plus on Rand Newberg's website because you'll be able to find the day-to-day access to day-to-day stuff. I'm bringing my camera, my personal gimbal, my personal GoPro. I'm filming stuff personally on me. And we're going to be putting it all on Fresh Tracks Plus. You're going to have a whole bunch of different views. This is going to be a different, completely 100% different kind of Randy Newberg episode that you've ever seen. Because I'm making it so crazy, funkadelic. I'm dropping this, yada meaning, all this kind of shit. Y'all have a good night, good day, or whatever time you on your way to work, on your way going home, going to go have sex with your wife, going to go divorce your wife, whatever you're getting ready to go do. I love y'all. Y'all have a good day. Take it easy. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks a bunch, Orlando. Check him out, guys, on Instagram at Campfire_evolution. I believe is that correct? Orlando, did I say that right? Is there an underscore? Oh, here's what it is, guys. It's Camp_Fire_evolution. Have a good one. You made it all the way to the end. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. We sure appreciate your support. This is Jim Huntsman signing off and reminding you to check us out at Instagram at The Western Huntsman and on Facebook at The Western Huntsman. And you can also check out the website at thewesternhuntsman.com. Thanks again. We'll see you guys next time. Stay Western, and I'll see you on the mountain.